The Kimura lock is a submission that puts immense pressure on the shoulder joint. Sometimes it even transfers down to the elbow. I was in a match 18 years ago in BC, Canada, where my opponent didn't tap. It actually ended up breaking his elbow. So it's very important that you guys always apply the submission gradually, give your opponent lots of time to tap, and also make sure that you treat your body with respect. If you're feeling pressure in training and you don't tap, realize this is a combat sport and you can get seriously injured. So tap early and tap often. My name's Jason Sago, 3rd degree black belt, UFC vet. Let's get into the technique. Let's start off with the absolute basics. So when you're first learning the shoulder lock, the Kimura submission, best place to learn it is from guard. So when you're starting in guard, first thing you have to know is that anytime your hands touch the mat, they're in danger. So we're always trying to get our opponents down on the mat. So what I do is I pull my knees up, I scoop his hands out, and that forces him for the weight to transfer forward. He's gonna post. He doesn't want his forehead to face plant down here. So as soon as his hand touches the mat, I'm gonna slide down, make the connection between the wrist, my hand grabbing his wrist, reaching up and over top, nice and high over the shoulder, looping around the elbow, and then connecting with my own wrist. So this is a figure 4 grip. I have his wrist, I'm also controlling my own wrist. The next thing you wanna do is think about this like a trap door. I'm gonna shoot his wrist up to the sky, and my elbow also shoots up too. I haven't put any pressure on the shoulder just yet. It's when you start to create a little bit of an angle change. So I'm gonna just show from a little bit different angle for you guys. So I start to scoot out. I'm gonna use my feet, push them into the mat. I scoot, I scoot, I scoot. And you can see I'm starting to turn my whole torso, my whole upper body in towards him. I'm still keeping that figure 4 lock, the Kimura grip. I'm gonna then push his hand up towards the sky as I pressure my elbow down towards the floor. So we got 2 opposing forces. Wrist going up towards the sky, driving his elbow down towards the mat. That's what causes the immense pressure that will eventually cause the break, but we're doing it super slow. So just so you guys see from a different angle, we'll start straight on here, just from posture. He's postured up, we've got to make his hands touch the mat. I'm gonna scoop out, pull my knees up, boom. As soon as those hands connect, I'm gonna control the wrist, shoot up over the shoulder, and then from here, once you have that connection, again, I like a little bit of a drop here. So connect, drop, and now scoot, scoot, scoot. Face them. You want to make sure you're relocking your guard here, controlling your opponent, back of the wrist to the back of the head, nice and slow. Side note, if I don't lock my legs or I don't put enough pressure on his hips, sometimes as I'm applying this submission, he could roll through, you know, and then he can potentially escape, especially if I'm loose in my grips, his elbow touches the mat, he turns up into me, you just lost the Kimura. So that's why part of jiu-jitsu is knowing how to control your opponent. So when we're here, I break them down, I shoot up and over, I get that Kimura lock in, I start to scoot. My legs are actively engaged, driving down. So if he's trying to roll through, that stops the roll through from happening. And now I can apply the Kimura submission from guard. This is a fundamental finish you should know from top side control. So we already have the Kimura grip locked in here, and what we want to do is start to bury the head, because if I don't keep his torso, his upper body, his shoulders on the mat, he's going to elevate with me. As I start to apply to the Kimura, you can see him rising up. He rises up. I'm losing all the pressure. When I bury the head, so I step over his head, he can't rise up anymore. And now as soon as I start to elevate, look at his hand, boom. Can you tap that in front so they can see? Exactly, right? So we want to make sure we're putting enough pressure on his upper body, and then all of the pressure goes into the shoulder. Here's another setup for the Kimura. It's more of an intermediate setup. So we got a half guard with a knee shield in, just meaning my knee's pointing up towards his shoulder. I could bear a lot of weight here. So we're really strong, our femur bone going from the knee joint to the hip joint. It's one of the strongest bones in the body, could support a lot of weight. And if he's really pressuring, really big weight difference, maybe a heavy guy, you got your arms also to support all of your frames. So with that being said, I want his hand to touch the mat. So I'm just going to be kicking out my left leg, shin kicking out this way. And as I kick, he touches. As soon as that arm touches, I shoot. And I'm locking in that Kimura. That's the beginning of the setup. Really important though, if it's a big, heavy guy, you gotta use your legs. So I wanna show you what's going on the other side here. So, same idea, I have the Kimura on this side. Look at my feet here, right? My foot, I need to get my legs involved. So what I'm trying to do is put my hook in, but you can see there's not enough space. So I have to shrimp back, get my hook on the inside, and now watch this sweep. I'm gonna tuck my head underneath, and I'm gonna use that hook that I inserted, I'm gonna kick it. I kick it up. Perfect, let's do that again, just from the other side. So we were here, knee shield position, we're blocking, we kick, make them touch, connect. We got our Kimura grip. I'm gonna insert my hook on the other side. It's called a butterfly hook. And then I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna tuck my head underneath them. I wanna get as close underneath the center of gravity as possible. I'm gonna drive his hand up in a circular direction. So I'm driving his hips up and over, and plus I'm gonna kick now. Drive my foot into the mat like a single leg bridge, and I kick up. Exactly, he's protecting his arm here, and now we're gonna go into a series of 5 submissions. All right, so we just finished the sweep. We got them on their back. This is 5 submissions from the Kimura trap position if they stay down. So again, we keep that locked the entire time, making sure our grips are tight, they're strong. If they stay down, I want you guys to use your legs, swim up, get your sternum right on top of their shoulder, and then from here, we're gonna drive their hand down and elevate the elbow up to get the shoulder lock finish there. Submission number 2. So if they decide to stay down on their back, what we can do is we can elevate them up a little bit. We're gonna kick our leg underneath their head, top leg going over their head, and then we're gonna lock our ankles. It's a scissors motion, so we're gonna pinch our knees together, keep the Kimura grip, squeeze, get the finish there. Number 3, if they stay down, we can use our legs, we can kick up, bury the head, so I wanna step over his head, block anything that he could see, pin his elbow towards my sternum, elevate, use your core to get the finish. It's not just my arms doing the motion, it's my entire body turning. So we wanna make sure we're using all of our core muscles there. And then again, if we're staying in north-south, he might grab his belt. Tough to finish here. You could try breaking it away, so I might pop away and then try to get the finish. But if it's really strong grip, that might prove difficult. So we're gonna make an adjustment to submission number 4. It's called the power Kimura. Step, step, fall down, and now we're gonna use the power of our legs. I'm gonna kick my legs away, and then we're going to elevate his wrist up and finish with the power Kimura. And number 5, that brings us number 5. Personal favorite of mine, love this transition, going to attack from the Kimura submission to an armbar submission. So it's really important when you're doing this one, we're gonna jump up. So as I'm jumping up, I'm keeping the weight, keeping the pressure on the arm I've isolated, and then I'm gonna adjust my legs. So if you look at my legs, I jump, and then I come down, keep everything nice and tight, hips close, slide to the end of the lever, and then finish with the armbar. I just wanna show the footwork from a different angle. So we have the Kimura locked in. If you look at this back leg, this is the north-south position. I'm gonna jump up on this foot, hit up the Kimura, and then transition to the armbar. Those are 5 submissions from the Kimura trap position if your opponent stays down. This next one's called the 360 Kimura. It's very useful if your opponent's weight is setting back. So meaning that I might have a Kimura in here, but I can't flip them over. I'm trying to do the sweep, it's not working because his weight is set back. What you wanna do is release your legs. You're gonna do a big shrimp, and then you're gonna walk your feet, boom. And now here we're in the Kimura trap. You could use any of those 5 finishes that we talked about in the previous video. But the important thing is that you do that 360 Kimura because you've already got this arm controlled. You know he can't post with it because he's got to protect it. You know it's going to be in. So if it's on the inside, his weight's set back, I know he can't use this to post for balance. So I walk, take them down, and then either coming up, finishing here, with whatever one you wanted from the previous video. One thing though you have to be aware of though, if they know the counter to that, for example, can we switch positions? You're on your back, you're Kimura-ing me. This is the counter to the Kimura. So if we're here and he locks in a Kimura and then his legs are not, if they're basically open, he's not controlling me in the legs, as soon as my legs are free, I might just step over and counter his Kimura with an armbar. So I'll show it from the other side. If we're here, anytime you get caught in a Kimura, but they're not controlling your lower body, you could always step over and counter them with an armbar. So he's got a Kimura in, I just step over, and I hit an armbar. So be aware of that if you're gonna do the 360 Kimura. In the next series of videos, I'll show you a better option. This is what I like to do when my opponent sets his weight back. So instead of doing the 360 Kimura, I'm here, their weight's set back, I can't hit The Kimura, because they're just settled in, I'm gonna shrimp, releasing my legs, and then from here I put the foot right in the hole. So as soon as my foot goes by his hip, I can use the power of my legs. Number one I try is to break the Kimura grip, and then I can either try to finish with an armbar here, or I could keep extending back, getting the Kimura. But sometimes they have a really strong grip. So let's say he re-grabs the belt, I can't break the grip, right? I can't break it. I'm gonna put my foot all the way inside. And now from here, I'm gonna switch my grip. I'm holding onto my thigh, I'm reaching down, I'm grabbing his foot, and then I pressure through, and now we're in belly down armbar position. We rolled him through, I double up on the wrist, and I finish with an armbar. So again, let's go over that one more time. I'm gonna go on this side. So we're here. He's protecting. I scoot back. Put my foot in the hole. I'm switching my grips. And then from here, I reach, grab the foot, over the top, bury the head, finish with the armbar. And then the last one I like to do, this one's a little bit more advanced. It involves taking the back. So we're here, I get my grips, he's protecting, I'm shrimping out, foot in the hole, and then I actually release my hand and I boost up here to take the back position here. So those are three options for when your opponent sets his weight back. Let's get into the Kimura trap. So the Kimura trap is an amazing position to get to. So I want to show you guys different setup options for you to get into it. First one is from half guard. So he's got one of my legs in between. We do have the Kimura lock in, but he's grabbing his belt, so we can't get the finish. We want to release our legs, so I like to use my elbow, and then sometimes I use my other foot. I clear, and then I'm going to be going over the head. So this position here is called the Kimura trap. You saw at the beginning of the video, we have our 5 finishes. One of them was like coming up here, finishing the Kimura here, and then you can watch 2, 3, 4, 5 just earlier on. But another thing that happens from the Kimura trap is if they get up. So if he starts to get up, I could slide my knee in, and then I could overhook here, and now we have a few different options we can go to. So I just want to show that half guard position again, just so you can see from the not again. So just from the legs here. So from the legs, turn a little bit so you can see the legs. So from the leg position here, we have the half guard. What I'm doing is I'm using my inside hook to pressure down, and I'm gonna use my elbow, keep your legs up high, control, and I'm gonna use my elbow to clear it, and then I'm jumping over the top here. So once I get into this position, now we're in the Kimura trap. If he starts to turn away from me, I slide, and then I control that top hook here. If he continues to come up, I could also drive him backwards to this side here. So I want to show you guys a few more options from the Kimura trap, and also a few more setups on how to get into it. Another setup for the Kimura trap is 2 hands on 1. This is a dangerous position because my hips are close to his. He could pop up his hips, lift me up, boom, slam you. Really bad, especially self-defense. You're going for a ride, you don't want to hit the concrete. So 2 hands on 1, make sure you're walking your hips away. That takes away his power, but also extends his arms out, so his grip becomes weaker. So I'm gonna walk my hips out, putting pressure on the arms, and once that breaks open, I'm gonna control the wrist, lock up a Kimura, take 1 step, 2 step, and now from here, I'm going to be hooking the inside of his leg. So as I'm hooking the inside of his leg, I'm gonna be sitting down, kick, and now we're back into the Kimura trap. Another entry into the Kimura trap is when they shoot a single leg on you. So as he's shooting in here, I wanna make sure if his head was on the inside, you can use your forearm, bump it on the outside. That gives us access to the arm. We're gonna shoot over the top, grabbing his wrist. So now we have the Kimura, and I'm just gonna be sitting down, and you can see that foot on the inside, it's gonna be kicking up. So I sit down and I kick, boom. And now we've entered the Kimura trap. Here's another entry for the Kimura trap. So from seated guard, what we need is our opponent to post. So we're gonna put a collar, make him post, we transfer the weight. As soon as that hand touches the mat, I'm gonna connect my hand to his wrist, and then I'm going to loop my arm over and shoot for the Kimura. So from the beginning, as soon as that arm touches, boom, we're jumping over. And then you want to face your opponent here to get into the Kimura trap. So I'll show it one more time. We're trying to pass our opponent's guard. He's staying nice and tight. We're going to make him open up his elbow by posting. As soon as he posts, boom, here. right into the Kimura trap. From the Kimura trap, I want to show you guys 3 different options to finish. So, as he starts to rotate up here, I puncture my knee through. That's really important because that helps me control the left side of his hip. And then I throw my other hook over. This is a low hook. This can be a medium hook over the arm, or it can be a high hook over the head. Let's start with the low hook on the legs. I'm gonna elevate his elbow up, and then I'm gonna drive hamstring muscle curl back. So as I'm starting to curl back, can you start to rotate the camera? As I'm starting to curl back, I'm sliding in a rear naked choke. I release his grip, I shoot, and then squeeze elbows in to get the finish here. Finish number 1. Number 2, we're in the Kimura trap position. This is used when your opponent starts to get up. As they start to get up, I shoot. This time I see that arm dangling a little bit, left it behind. I'm gonna hook onto the arm with my leg. Same thing, turn their hips, bring your knee up towards the sky, and as I'm turning them, start to rotate the camera. As I'm starting to rotate here, I grab my shin here, locking in. Make sure you don't put that foot in front. They could use their hand to battle it. I wanna make sure I'm putting that foot behind him, okay? Now from here, I have an armbar finish. I also have a Kimura finish. And if I want to finish the choke, right now it's underneath his chin. I need to hit the side of his neck, the carotid artery. So I like to grab my shin, adjust, create a little bit of an angle change. And then from here, I come up, driving the calf muscle into the side of his neck. Okay, so that was when we hooked over the arm. Number 3, so this is the last one from the Kimura trap. Again, these are all used when your opponent starts to get up. 1, 2, and 3. This is number 3. As I shoot, leg over the top, and then we're gonna drive them down. Look at my knees, they both point up to the sky, and then I slide back, switch my grip, and finish with an armbar. So those are 3 very effective, useful techniques. We got the low hook, the hook over his arm, and then we also have the high hook around the head, and they all lead to 3 different finishes from the Kimura trap position. The Kimura lock is a powerful, versatile submission. You could set it up from so many different positions. The back, rear, bear hug defense. You could set it up from somebody shoots a single leg on you. It could be used to counter so many attacks used against you. So we have to make sure that we understand all the intricacies. I just did a general overview. If you guys would like to see more on any particular position or even a completely different submission, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.